Hello there, my name is Brother Joseph Hilliker. I'm a Dominican friar in formation. Let me tell you briefly about the formation track in the province of St. Albert the Great. It is 8 years in total. Our first year starts with the novitiate, which is the beginning year, which is in Denver. After the novitiate, we spend 3 years in study in St. Louis. And then we have 1 year away from St. Louis, and we're on what's called the pastoral year, and then we return back to St. Louis for 3 more years. Presently, I'm on my pastoral year, and I'm currently working and teaching at Fenwick High School in Oak Park, Illinois, and living with the brothers at St. Vincent Ferrer Priory in River Forest, Illinois. So that you can get a better idea of the pastoral year and the various experiences that are had therein and the formation, this video is a good introduction to some of our other brothers, some of my classmates who are on their pastoral years. And so, without further ado, I want you to meet one of my classmates, Brother Andres Maria Trujillo.
Yeah, so I'm doing ministry. I'm serving my pastoral year at Aquinas College.
So my name is Brother Jacob. I am here working at St. Tom's at Purdue University.
I'm Brother Augustine Culligan. I am in my fourth year with the Dominicans here as a pastoral intern in Denver, Colorado. So I'm working at the parish at St. Dominic with Father Luke Barter.
I'm Brother Bernard Wardak, fourth year student brother, and I'm serving in my pastoral year at St. Paul Catholic Center in Bloomington, Indiana, serving the campus of Indiana University here.
So why do we have a pastoral year at Aquinas Institute of Theology? Well, it goes to the very heart of the ministerial formation that St. Dominic wanted for his brothers. So St. Dominic wanted his brothers to be well-formed in theology, but also to be useful to others. And the pastoral year is one of the ways that we strive to make that promise of St. Dominic into a reality by, in fact, sending our brothers to different venues, different sites, where they can, in fact, hone their ministerial skills and acquire the gifts that will enable them to be excellent preachers and ministers for the church.
I love it. I really like being here. I love the parish atmosphere. There's always a lot of opportunities to preach and evangelize. It seems almost every single day, almost every evening, there's an event happening at the parish that I can get involved in. And it's very easy for us to schedule impromptu preaching activities. For example, this upcoming weekend, I'm going to be preaching at a Rosary Confraternity event. So we're going to be praying the Rosary, and I'll just have the opportunity to talk about Mary and perhaps what the Rosary means to me in my life.
Yeah, Purdue is actually a very large Catholic population. There's 13,000 Catholic students here, which is actually more students than there are at Notre Dame. And so there's actually more Catholics at Purdue than there are at Notre Dame. And so we like to say this is the largest Catholic university in Indiana is actually Purdue University. Yeah, it's been going really well. I think that my ministry here has been beautiful. I've had fruitful experiences. It's really great to live in a community that's doing ministry together. And so we have 5 Dominicans here at St. Tom's working and for this preaching mission here at Purdue. And so I get to join with these brothers and get to participate in that preaching mission with them. And it's our rich community life and our life together, our life of prayer, and ultimately a life of preaching that allows us to share the good news with those that we encounter.
At Fenwick, I am sort of splitting time between teaching and campus ministry. I'm teaching Latin, which has been a great joy for me. I've very much enjoyed the teaching component and connecting with the students. And I also get to support the students by being in campus ministry, helping program retreats, among other programming, at the school, and supporting them in extracurricular activities and events, going to games, band concerts, and things like this.
I'm mostly supporting the mission to the college students, and I'm also working with Father Reginald, who teaches what we call Catholicism 101, commonly known as RCIA. It's good to see there's a range for sure. People are in different places. Our faith, our life These things are journeys that we're on, and the road to God sometimes leads in twists and turns, or has a kind of back and forth pattern to it. Things aren't always certain, and so some people we've stopped seeing after a few weeks. Others are diving in even deeper. The cool thing I noticed last week when I was teaching was kind of a glint, like a little light in people's eyes, the longing for a growing relationship with God and with His church that is palpable just even in how someone looks.
We have a number of student leaders also involved in campus ministry, leading Bible studies, faith sharing groups of their own. And so what I do is meet with some of them on a bi-weekly basis to, provide them formation to, go over some of the real graces, the challenges that they're experiencing in bringing their gifts to the life of the church, with their brothers and sisters here in the college, and helping them make sense of those experiences so that they can grow in their own faith as well as leaders here at Aquinas College.
This experience has been really affirming for me. So when I entered the Dominicans, I remember thinking, I love study, I love prayer, and I love community life. But preaching was always something that I didn't quite get. I hadn't had a lot of opportunities to actually preach. But now, just having a month and a half in full-time ministry, it is wonderful. I love the opportunity to just preach and evangelize and give some of the things that I've received in my formation so far.
We had the honor to get invited to the football game, so we attended Indiana's football game last weekend, and it's an exciting time. They're having a good season, the Hoosiers. While we were in the stands enjoying the game, we saw a few different people that we know, and some of them we just had to wave to from afar because our seats were far apart, but a few people actually were close so we could kind of go visit with them in the seats. And while we were having a conversation with some of our friends from 5 or 6 rows above, a person waved us down and let us know that he, in the way that he could, he shared his excitement to see us out there, kind of in public, being who we are, being Dominicans. In this case, just encountering some other friends. But that man let us know how much it meant to him to get to see us, people who try to live with that kind of visibility for a profession in our consecrated life, living for God. To see us out in public at something as ordinary as a football game. And that simple expression of joy and gratitude at seeing us filled my heart with gratitude too.
And so at the beginning of the year here at Purdue, they have an ecumenical gathering with Christians of all different faiths, and we're there praying and worshiping together. And while I was there, I had an experience where I looked over and I saw a young woman standing there, and she looked very alone. She's in a clearing, and there was nobody else around her. And so I felt prompted by God to go and speak to her. And I just saw how lonely she looked. And so I thought, okay. So I go up to her after the night's over, and I just said, "Hi, I'm Brother Jacob, and I just felt prompted to talk to you by God, and I'm wondering how you're doing." And she proceeded to then tell me that she had just recently lost her mother, and that she felt very alone, and she felt very angry at God. But ultimately, she just wasn't feeling seen, and that when I approached her, she felt like God had seen her. And so from that, I was very moved by that, that God would use me in that way. I'm very humbled.
Yeah, so one particular joy, one great ministerial experience of many already at this point is I particularly enjoy being a Dominican at a Dominican institution. And young kids today are really drawn to that. They have a lot of questions. And so being able to teach Latin, I get to develop some sort of a rapport with these students. And occasionally, I think both because they are bored of the content matter, but also because they're genuinely curious about why young men today are choosing religious life and particularly even the priesthood, they often ask questions, very pointed questions, and I often welcome these digressions. Sometimes I'll sort of sidetrack them and get to them at the end of the class or maybe at the end of the week when they're a little bit more squirrely. But I always make time to talk about it because it's a beautiful witness of religious life, and it's planting seeds to these young men and women that this is very much not only a legitimate option, but a very joyful one at that.
It's like, oh my gosh, like how can things be busier than they are in the studio? You know, 3 papers due in one day. But while I do bring a lot of my gifts and talents into ministry, there's the dawning realization that like that's not about me, and like it isn't me. Like it has to be the Holy Spirit working out of that, working out of that abundance of prayer, and also facilitating that encounter, person to person. Hopefully that's an encounter with Jesus Christ, a tangible encounter with Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and to my friends, our friends of the province, I want to say that really our mission is not possible without you. And it's been since the beginning of the Dominicans that the friends, those friends like you, have supported the Dominicans in their preaching that made our life possible, that made our mission possible. And so thank you, and I thank you for supporting us and for your friendship to us. We couldn't do it without you.
And so that's us, at least a brief introduction to us. We're grateful to have been able to share some of these things, and we ask for your continued prayers and your continued support so that we can continue to flourish in our Dominican vocations, and other men like us can continue to flourish in their vocations as well. Thank you, and God bless.
Hey, wait a minute. Remember me, Father Andrew Carl Wisdom? I was with you last year. Before you go, we just want to thank you for all you do for us, and also congratulate Bishop Lombardo and the Franciscans of the Eucharist of Chicago. And here is where I am now. I was fired by the Provincial and banished to Denver, but I got a new gig as the novice master to 6 wonderful Dominican novices. And they are...
I'm Brother John Gregory from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm Brother Lucas Weedman from Villa Park, Illinois. I'm Brother Basil Stewart from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Brother Joshua Hein Erickson from Shawnee, Kansas. I'm Brother Thomas Goebel from Columbus, Indiana.
I'm Brother Acquaint from St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Thank you for all you do for us, for all you do for them. God bless you.